Is going on YouTube? Happy Monday, my friends and family, fellow YouTubers. All right, guys, let's talk about what's happening in Bitcoin. Let's do a market update. We have some news. Of course, the Nasdaq, okay? We talked about this yesterday. It is holding its bottom. Not only that, it is finishing positive, 1.29%. Not a big move, but you know how important it is to hold this bottom. The Nasdaq and Bitcoin's correlation is about 2.0 beta, a little bit higher than 2.0, meaning when the Nasdaq moves, let's say 10%, Bitcoin will move 20%. And I have my targets for where the Nasdaq will go, okay? I told you I could see us going to the 0.5, which is a 10% move, or the 618, which is a 12% move. So between a 20 and 24% move on the Nasdaq. Let's see how that translates to Bitcoin on a daily chart. 20 to 24%. Now, we don't know exactly, that these candles are going to come back down, maybe come down and kiss 37. So let's just take the low right here in current trend. Do 20 to 24% lands you exactly where we talked about yesterday, between the 200 and the 233, okay? Markets tend to repeat themselves over and over again. This is what I expect to see. Let's take the measured move from this falling wedge and see when we do fall out. And let's just throw it over here somewhere. I don't know. We'll just pick a spot. 44,218. Now remember, what was 44K on fibs? This is my Gann layout. What was 44K on fibs? That was the 618 with the 233 moving average. Again, you start getting a lot of confluence for where you can see a turnaround, where you guys can make some money on a breakout trade. You can trend trade this. You can learn about these techniques on our Discord, guys. Marketmakers.trade. Come check the room out. Doesn't cost you anything for a couple of days. You get a full refund, and then you can see if you like it, you can stay, and you can see why there's 6,000 people on our Discord, okay? Fantastic community to come trade with. But this, I think, is going to be an exact repetition of the cycle. Now, part of the reason I've been so adamant about the fact that I think we're going to wave up one more time for resistance. Now, keep in mind, if this wave goes super bullish, you guys know we have targets, right? We've talked about these low 50s targets. So if I'm in a trade in a long, I'm just not shutting it because we hit resistance. I'm shutting it when we start to see trend reversal. But if we do end up breaking resistance, which again, this would take a lot of bullish sentiment to happen, and let's say we pushed up towards 49 or 53K, fantastic. But these trades are going to be key because I do think we're going to come up to a level, capitulate, and that could be our next big move down, okay? Part of the reason I'm so adamant about that, let me finish my train of thought, is because we haven't capitulated yet. The more time that goes by, after a 16% sell-off in the Nasdaq, 16%, okay? Bitcoin held its bullish accumulation pattern. Now, Bitcoin is viewed by the large banks and institutions as a risk asset, meaning that when you are in a risk-off environment, when you have to expunge the risky assets from your portfolios, you get rid of them first because they're more volatile, they can cause more damage, and they didn't dump Bitcoin yet. That is part of the reason why I think we do have another wave up coming with Bitcoin before a capitulation event. That's my theory. We'll see how that plays out. Now, something I want to show you that's really interesting here on the Bitcoin chart. If you look at these dates, look where we are right now. So May 2nd, right? Let me show you something. So if we, a key reversal date in Gann is 180 days from a significant point, like an all-time high. Let's take the all-time high. Let's go out 180 days, and that brings us right to May 9th, okay? May 9th. It'll help if I have the right tool here. So let's get this one. There. What am I doing? This one. All right. Let's grab that, and May 9th takes you 180 days. You see that? 180 days. Now, keep in mind, on our weekly time frame, we did hit our pivot point just today with this new weekly candle. We hit on fib time, okay? So this is a fib time pivot. Remember I said this candle or a following candle could change the trend? Well, a week from today, is May 9th, which will be the brand new candle. That could definitely be our potential wave up, utilizing the Gann reversal point of 180 days. Really interesting to see how this plays out, which means we may be going sideways for yet another week. Not a very fun, thing to do, but we have a lot of confluence for this area, so it is something to really keep a watchful eye on. If we do keep slowly descending, I see that we have 37K beneath us. You could come down and end up kissing that. We are at 38.3, so that does not seem unreasonable. But, we'll see. Again, with the Fed meeting tomorrow and the Fed coming out with their press conference the following day, these markets could pick up and start to rally. You could see Bitcoin start to drifting up, or the markets could have some more bloodletting if the Fed comes out and says something really stupid. If they sound too aggressive, too hawkish, you could see, further declination in price. But I'm looking for that wave, guys. This wave is going to be excellent to trade. Trend trade this, breakout trade this. I'll be posting these trades in the room. And when we come up to resistance, if we start faltering, making a shape, just like I posted the short for this, we will post another short. And I do think, looking back on this daily chart from the previous accumulation cycle, look how these cycles repeat themselves. This is early May up here in this quadrant. You see this? This is early May. So you're looking at late April, early May. May 12th, you start the capitulation down for a dramatic price decline. What was this price decline? Let's go ahead and grab this. Let's use the right tool this time. So we'll just grab it from, this isn't the all-time high. We're just going to grab it from when it started declining. 50% price decline, okay? 29,592 points in a matter of a few days. I think this is the type of event that we're looking for. I think this is what the market's looking for, to bring this down another level. You guys know on the weekly, I do have this price target down here of 23K. We have my Gann price pulse pattern, a three-wave pattern that we have completed. We have our ABC correction that we're currently undergoing with the high of 48,266. We have the weekly price declination, which I think is going to wave up before it does this, okay? Bringing us to our lower low here, lower accumulation. We're going to be lower than this previous accumulation range. Again, part of this pattern will be lower at 23,082. And this I have on the fib time target of June 13th. I mean, look at this. This is fib time, right? So this isn't something that I just, laid out, but let me look at where you were June 13th. If you look back on the daily, when you had your market low was June 22nd, literally the following candle, okay? The following weekly candle. So this is tracking extremely closely to this previous dump and then accumulation. And so I think you'll see that type of capitulation, that pump up, the roll down. And again, it's not going to be a straight line like this, right? You're going to have price waves, but down to 23 where you accumulate, and then we'll see if we get our move back up to resistance on the weekly and then back down again, okay? And this all takes time. You're going to have a bunch of different price waves. And looking at this pattern here, I mean, this B wave right here, this is July 25th, and then the ultimate ending of this is at Phi, the 1618. None of these dates have to play out, okay? This is, again, fib time. It's a tool. Doesn't mean it's 100% accurate. But this is March 27th, 2023. What's interesting, remember, March, September, these are Gann, important dates in the Gann calendar. Many bull markets and bear markets begin and end in March and September. As a matter of fact, the bottom of the great financial crisis was in March 2009. Get this, 666 on the S&P. How many of you were not even born yet? I mean, I guess most of you probably were, but you were probably very, very young. But 666 on the S&P March 2009, and we've been on a bull run since then. That was the bottom of the market. So this could very likely be the bottom of the market here in March. We'll see. This is a long time away, but so far this is tracking beautifully. I just want to see this wave up, and then we can start seeing our waves down for capitulation down to 23K. We'll see how close we can come to nailing that. It's the beauty of YouTube. Could be way off, or it could be right on the money. Okay, and let's see what else we got. Let's go ahead and look at the daily again really quickly. Nothing's changed much since yesterday, guys. That's why I'm doing a lot of talking about different subjects, but let's go ahead and just look at a couple of things here. We are still tightening on our volatility. Let's check out, let me go ahead and get rid of these. I have these on every video now. Let's go ahead and see what the ATR is doing, and it is coming back to our baseline. You see this? It's the baseline that we've been ping-ponging up from. So we could just be ping-ponging up again until May 9th, potentially, right? May 9th is at 180 days. Watch May 9th. I mean, if something happens, we pivot out before, then great. But I find it really fascinating when sometimes these dates play out just like they're supposed to. You guys have been watching this channel for a while. You know we've had some fib time pivot dates that have like been dead on the money. So it's really interesting to see when they do play out. Candles, volume, everything's just kind of, you know, going along as you guys see. My volatility is another indicator. You can see it's flat. Everything is just flat and you're just drifting, right? You're drifting up and down in this falling wedge bullish pattern. And, you know, so you're touching a bottom range, coming up to touch the top, going back and forth. This may continue for a few more days. We'll see how well these markets recover. We'll see if they continue to dump. But I can tell you if the strong DXY, guys, remember the DXY at its high, the highest it's been since the dot-com crash. U.S. commodities are priced in dollars, okay? Or commodities are priced in dollars. Look at gold. Gold is falling apart. It got down to 1856 here. And let's look at silver. Silver is even worse, okay? This is the metal traders are very nervous. The Fed is going to be very hawkish about inflation. Precious metals are an inflation hedge. Notice Bitcoin is not falling. Bitcoin is not an inflation hedge yet, okay? Maybe one day it will be. It is not. But precious metals are, and that's why they are selling off hardcore. Oil is still holding its own at about 105 a barrel, and it's just the beginning of summer, so I expect that to go higher. All right, guys, that's your video. Go ahead and smash the like button for me. Really appreciate your support, everybody. Take care. Another video coming tomorrow.